The film night came about essentially because there was a need. There was a need amongst students for this. Lots of students were interested in it, and there was no outlet really for them to play their music to the general public and to an audience of their peers. And it's a chance for students to basically have their film music aired in public on the big screen, and also a chance to do it in front of industry professionals like Harry Escott for the last 2 years and film director Stephen Gordon. I got Harry involved because Harry, I've just recently finished writing the third book of a series of three books on film music, and when I wrote the second book, I had covered a lot of Harry Escott's music, and I sent him the transcriptions and the chapter to see what he thought. And luckily, he was very complimentary, and he was then therefore very interested in what we were doing up at Leeds College of Music. Stephen Gordon is one of those rare people that he's actually a film director and also in a previous life a musician, and had a record deal and stuff like that. So he's in a very unique position to actually be able to judge the music for the film. Lots of the work stood out on the night because, of course, on the night the work that we used was a shorter list than we actually had submitted. Francesca Green's stuck out. She took a film, an independent film, and actually purely through using music in the right way at the right times, actually slightly altered the perspective of the film and the context of the film and turned it more into a science fiction film.
I've always been had a slight interest in it, but I've never really, I only really started actually writing music for film, first year of uni. It was quite nerve-wracking. I'm not really one to show off. I know it's weird that being a music student, but I never really show my music. Nice to get good criticism, to actually, how to improve it and make it even better. So it was very useful.
We actually contacted two composers who recently left the college who are now working in Hollywood as professional film score writers, and we asked if they would like to be included, and we were lucky enough to be able to Skype them during the actual gig itself. And it was very interesting because we were able to get some real insight into what it's like living over there and working over there. As well as featuring existing students and also the alumni who were in Hollywood, we also interviewed two recent alumni. One of them, Josh Broughton, very recent, literally left college 3 or 4 months ago. Harry Escott, the visiting composer, was so impressed that he actually called me the day after. And Josh is now working in London for Harry on his latest TV series.
Since leaving Leeds College of Music, I've had a couple of short films, and I've now got a gig with CBBC, which will air in January. So it's really nice to keep coming back here as well and keep up a working relationship with the lecturers. And all the stuff that I learned being at the college and started composing since then is just miles better than anything that I have done beforehand. And I owe all of that to Brian, really.
Sometimes you are up against it when you're writing film music because there is an army of traditionalists that don't support the notion that films ought to have music, and they see music written for film as being in some way secondary to music written for its own purposes. But in many respects, music for the moving image is the most natural kind of music, because if you think of when people write songs or when they write symphonies or whatever, we normally write music to a visual image in our head. It's either a memory, it's a picture, it's a thought. It's just when you write film music, you're writing music to somebody else's image.